Where's the squeak?
In the middle. That's really
Good morning, buddy. Morning. Come on. Come on. Hi. 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 Good boy. You wanna go outside? Let's go outside. Come on. Not the shoe. Really? Scooch. Scooch, I wanna sit down. I wanna sit down. Good morning, everyone, from me and the land shark. That is my dog. Graham is now a little over 12 weeks old, which means that he is trying to bite anything and everything. But nonetheless, he's still a great boy. Today is Thursday, February 19th, and it is my first time going to physical therapy since the stress fracture. I've got to be honest, I'm feeling very optimistic about this. Not that he's gonna clear me to get back to running. This is week 2 of being in the boot. With it being week 2 of being in the boot, I'm obviously aware that I'm not gonna be able to go back to running at this point, but everything has been feeling really good. So if I can get the green light to swim normally, instead of just pulling and pushing off the wall with my right foot, as well as getting some biking back in the mix since I haven't been able to bike since this has happened, I'd be stoked about that. But that's at 1 p.m. and it is 7:30 a.m. So have a little bit of time beforehand. Workout wise these days, it is a lot lighter than what I'm used to. Today I have, did you just fall off the couch? Today I have a 2,500 meter swim consisting of pulling with paddles, and some drill work. I'll go through the actual workout a little bit more once we get there. I am really stoked about this swim because it's the first time I'm going to be trying out a new camera. So originally I had a GoPro for a little bit and then suddenly it just stopped turning on. So that was super unfortunate. But I was talking to my buddy Eric Floberg and he actually recommended this camera, which is the Insta360 Go Ultra. It was also super convenient that they sell it on Amazon. So I just Amazon primed it. It has like the same kind of base shape as the GoPro itself, but a cool feature is you can actually remove, and this is the camera itself, this is just the housing. And one of the really cool things about it is that the back piece right here is magnetic. So while I can also like stick it to different things, they gave almost like a necklace, and it's a clip that I can put under my jersey for cycling, and I can just clip it right there. So I'm trying to up the content game for sure, and talking to Floberg about this camera, he highly recommended it to me. So I'm super excited, as well as just like recording more of my swims again on my own. I feel bad bringing Gavin to every single swim, especially the ones right now that are pretty boring. Little screen that flips up too. I literally just got this in the mail yesterday, so I'm really excited to use it today. All that being said though, it's about time to feed the man who's doing something behind me. I don't know if I want to show that. As well as just enjoy a slower start to my day than I'm used to. But honestly, with this boot, as well as just enjoy a little bit of a slower start to my day than I'm used to. But honestly, we'll take it. Hey, hey! There you go, buddy. So from a fueling perspective for this first swim, I'm gonna go ahead and have a Go bar, as well as just start sipping on my electrolytes for the swim itself. So I have 2 servings in here, 1,000 milligrams of sodium, and this is 36 grams of carbs. And then post-workout, I already got it mixed up in here, but it's 8 ounces of lactate 2% milk, I wanna say. I'm sorry, I'm lactose intolerant. 1 scoop of the chocolate vegan protein powder, 1 scoop of the collagen protein powder. I've been trying to be better about the timing of my protein intake following my workouts, as well as just dispersing it throughout the day a little bit better. So just always carrying a protein shake with me for after all my workouts, as well as a banana. My banana's in the fridge, I'm gonna grab that right before I go. Additionally, BPN did just come out with the whey isolate protein powder, which after hearing Nick talk about it to the athletes, apparently is significantly easier to digest than the normal whey protein powder. as well as just like only protein. There's no fat, there's no carbs in it. So I'm excited to give that a try. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't say like, oh, it's so amazing, go try it. I try and be very real with you all. So once I do end up trying that in a video, I'll give an honest review for it. But right now I'm just rocking the chocolate vegan. Chill out for a little bit longer so that Graham can enjoy his time outside of the crate. It's so hard crate training a dog because I genuinely feel bad. I said the word crate and he's staring at me now. I feel bad, but only a short swim, then I'll come back and be able to hang out with him for a while before PT. And then after PT, I'm with him the rest of the day. These are how these days when Megan's at work goes. I'm really explaining the whole family dynamic here, but Graham and I, we just get to kick it for the whole day. What do we think the Wordle should be? Wordle in 4. Damn it. All right, so this is the first time that I'm actually recording on this camera. Bear with me if it's bad. I'm still trying to learn how it works. We're outside of Lifetime right now, and I wanted to quickly run through what the workout is gonna look like today. So like I said, it's only 2,500 meters, which I'm saying only because I was just getting used to swimming 5K plus every time. I'm gonna get back to that, I'm not worried. Starting up with the warm-up, we have a 400 meter pull with paddles, followed by 4x50. The first 25 is gonna be sculling, which is essentially like you're floating and you're just getting a feel for the water out in front of you, kind of a cupping method back and forth, like I said, to get a feel for the water, followed by 25 swim. By far the weirdest drill that I do, and if you've ever tried to scull and then breathe, it feels very dumb. Next up, we have the main set, which is kind of broken out into 3 different rounds. It's gonna start out as 4x100, 50 swim with fists, 50 normal swim, followed by 200 pull with paddles, and that 200 is 150 easy, followed by 50 of breathing every 3. Then we get into the second round, which is 4x100 again. This time it's 50 fingertip drag, 50 swim, and then 200 pull with paddles. But now it's 100 easy, 100 breathe every 3. And the last round is 4x100 once again, but it's 50 catch-up drill this time, 50 swim, and then 200 pull plus paddles. You could probably guess the pattern. 50 easy now, 150 breathe every 3. So 2,500 meters in total. As I talked about back in my house, I've got my water bottle right here with 1,000 milligrams of sodium. And then I promise this banana is not bad. It was just in my fridge, a banana and my protein shake for after. And the nice thing about the Lifetime that I go to too is they have a cold plunge as well as a sauna, and they're right next to each other. So if they're not that busy, I'm gonna pop in, do a little bit of cold plunge, do a little bit of sauna, shower, head back home, breakfast. I'm getting ahead of myself. We gotta get the swim done first, so let's get in there.
I got this feeling, love is in season. Let's take a drive down to a place where affection grows, and your heart will know. Let's go down to a place where we stand face to face. I hear you only sign your name, a man shakes your hand and a kiss. Ooh, we're the same. Our lives begin that day. We're the same. Our lives begin that day. Let's turn the lights low, defy what we know. I've got a feeling we're not the first to cross this road, so I've been told.
All right, swim all done. I did cold plunge and sauna as well. It's just at Lifetime, there are a lot of people in there, no surprise, so I didn't want to record anything. While in the sauna, I was reading a little bit more about post-workout nutrition, and what I read was that collagen protein is actually better to have before any type of loading workouts. So like if you're running, lifting, like if there's gonna be a load or stressor on the bone, it's better to have 30 to 60 minutes before. Since I've only been doing swimming and haven't really been loading the bone at all, I think it's fine to still have now, but going forward, that's a change that I'm gonna make. I just wanted to share that with you all because of course, like as I learn things, I like to share it all with you. I like this little camera so much. Like I'm much more inclined to record because it's so small. My other camera, massive, and I feel like the quality on this is pretty solid. So I'm gonna go ahead and have my my banana. I'm gonna peel it, live reaction. It's literally perfect. It's a perfect banana. This, get home, make an actual meal before PT, plus we gotta let out Graham, so. Breakfast of champions, as always. For a while I was doing a tortilla with this all, but I gotta be real, like I just like the sourdough bread so much more. Got the boy Graham doing whatever he's doing. He might have to go out. It's like every 20 minutes with him. And then while I eat breakfast, I'm also gonna enjoy my big 3 for reading. First off, Daily Stoic. Been reading a passage from it almost every day. I wanna say every day because sometimes I forget. Also, just started the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible. It's all about how there's much more to life than worldly possessions and what we are accomplishing, like down here. And I thought it was pretty perfect timing considering that I am injured right now and it's causing me to like think bigger picture on things. And last but not least, I'm reading the Book of Joy, which is a conversation between the Dalai Lama and the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and it's really good. They're talking about the 8 pillars of happiness right now, and I think the one I'm on is humility, so I've really enjoyed reading it. I highly recommend it. I want to say in like 40 minutes or so, I'll head out to PT, so I'm just letting the man, I don't know where he is over there. He's running free right now, enjoying his time. I'll take him out 2 more times maybe before I head out, and then see what Jordan has to say about the anthem.
Our lives begin that day. We're the same. Our lives begin that day. Let's turn the lights low. Defy what we know. I've got a feeling.
We're just patiently waiting for Jordan to make fun of me for being in the boot right now.
How are you doing? What's up, bro? Good. How are you? Good.
How'd it go?
Good. Good.
What's up, man? How are you?
Good to see you.
I'm glad that you're staying consistent and have a boot on. And
Heck yeah, man.
I wouldn't even consider or call it really a stress fracture. I'd call it like almost just a normal fracture. Straight up. Looked in, I was like, I did a text you, like, did you like jump off a roof?
Yeah, like how did it run it? That's how it happened. Crazy. Just you sound a little more.
It's also just wild how the body just signals until it's like completely gone.
Yeah.
Because you were asking like, how did this end up? I was like, it's probably been months.
Lingering. Yeah.
Nope. And we all know that.
I mean, very honestly.
We all know.
We all know.
We
Like,
all know he lies about his.
No,
pain.
like this is on everything, you know. Like, I'm feeling nothing.
What did I make you do? And you jump over here and land on one foot?
Yeah.
You told me there was like no pain whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, I was wincing in the back of my head, but now, like, obviously, out of the boot now, I'm taking it a lot more seriously. I thought I could tough that one through.
He took about like 2 minutes to tell me that there was no pain. It was like,
okay, it wasn't 2 minutes. Come on.
nope, didn't feel anything. I'm like, yeah, right.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Push all the way down. Any pain or discomfort just through there.
No.
Okay, cool.
I will say like both of my Achilles feel like a little tight, but I think it's because like I haven't been rolling out my feet and I haven't been doing like
That's what
what I usually
work
do.
on a lot today. Of,
Okay,
Of like
cool.
really getting after the tissue.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to like run by you, like going back to like protocol throughout the day of like what I should be doing on my own.
Yeah, just absolutely.
Yeah, the doctor is like, I can't emphasize this enough. If you continue to do this, you will break your ankle.
Yeah.
Like, oh crap. I'm doing I think 1,800 milligrams of calcium a day, like just from like an external supplement.
Sure. That's what we talked about. I was like,
Yeah.
as long as you eat right, you'll get as much calcium as you really need to. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, supplementing extra is not gonna hurt you. Yeah. So run me down. I mean, everything looks good on a standpoint, even just like skin, swelling, puffiness into. I mean, I still feel a little bit right there, just fluid.
Yeah. Well, that's like
Definitely.
when I marked it on the
fluid.
MRI, like that's where I put
Yeah.
like the indicator.
Yeah, definitely. It's still a little puffy, like fluid right there comparatively. I mean, dude, as much movement as you can get without a painful stimulus, do it. And as long as that movement's not weight bearing or anything,
Okay.
like crazy weight bearing. How's life with not training? Like,
It's slow for sure. I didn't help that I was like the Austin Marathon, so I was like doing a bunch of stuff with BPN, and my parents were just in town the past 3 days.
Oh, cool.
So like I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of last week in the boot without much, and then past week I've been doing stuff.
I'm actually gonna flip.
What do you think about lifting?
For sure. You can lift.
Good.
Yeah.
Like normal loading and everything. Should I be cognizant of that, or because I've just been doing like upper body.
I mean, don't go do like rack pulls and things that you're like loading up your lower half, even if it's quote unquote, you're not really doing a lower body lift. Like let's say if you do like a rack pull, right? You feel it most glute hip.
Yeah.
But that load alone, even with a boot on, is gonna be a no-go.
Yeah. So still with all the lifts, still lifting with the boot on, you're saying?
Yeah, something light where you can kind of use a machine to offset, you know, mechanics and isolate, you know, bodybuilding, you know, type movements for sure. I think they're fine. I think the biggest thing about those things is that, you know, when you pull, right, the pad here, if you get done working out and you go, dude, my fucking ankle's a little sore, that's too much.
Okay, gotcha.
But if you feel no pain whatsoever, like, go for it.
So is biking him now?
And I really would say, no on that.
Alright.
And this is really why, is because even though you're biking, and even though it's, you know, quote unquote, you're not putting a ton of like weight or stimulus,
Yeah.
the pedaling effect of going dorsiflex back is still in that realm of doing this over and over and there is still some kind of pressure and load back into that tibia there.
Gotcha.
Now, if you got on a bike that had zero resistance whatsoever and you're just
Like
doing this,
C2 bike?
you know what I mean? Like, where you feel absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but listen, I don't know what the real point of that would be.
Yeah. That's fine.
Might as well swim.
Might as well swim.
Presented at times, you know, you don't want to do shockwave directly onto a fracture site. So being aware of that, we don't want to be anywhere from like a 2-inch mark from where the actual fracture is. But surrounding tissue, this device does have a setting for stress fractures, and what it's going to help do is release like growth factors in the surrounding tissues to give overall a good environment for healing processes in different areas and hopefully into the bone. I'm not a magician, I can't get those growth factors directly in the bone, but if we can get a much healthier response into the tissue, near the bone as possible, and let the body do its thing, it's the best thing we can do for, you know, his healing properties. So, same concept with anything in rehab is that we just want to get the best healing response we possibly can by changing the physiology of what his bone tendon can uptake in certain environments. So BFR is like a savior for people that can't load or put any type of real stress. This can mimic and really drive some like type 2 fibers, some growth factors into that area as well with actually not doing that much. So it's a savior in rehab. I knew a clinic and a friend of mine, and he was asking like, what can I do in my clinic to be, you know, up there with like the best, you know, research of this? And it was just like, hands down is BFR.
Yeah.
Get overextended here like ballerina toes, just kind of nice and easy, rock up to the ball of the foot. We're gonna go through like 20 of these. Okay. If you don't have a foam pad like this at the house,
I can
or at the
roll my
crib,
yoga mat.
just buy one. Amazon.
Gotcha.
The yoga mat it's good, it's just not the same. Kind of feeling the pad where our body is putting pressure and trying to put, you know, equal pressure between both feet, but maybe even, you know, putting a little bit more onto that left foot just to feel the bones of the feet absorbing force at different angles.
So if there's like when I can run again, you know, down the line, I'm gonna go to one of those like run lab places and just have them like watch my foot pattern and see if they notice anything that I should work on.
Yeah. I want you to think of everything, all your weight is just straight. So we're not leaning side to side,
Gotcha.
and we will here in a second. So everything just straight. Another cool research stat of BFR is that it takes blood and oxygen and blood away for the duration that we do it, but actually when you release,
It probably all rushes down.
they did studies that the blood pulling and the amount of blood venous return to that area is like significantly different. It's almost like 40% better than the non-effective leg. Get you know, a quick little stimulation on it.
Gotcha.
And let the healing effects of what we did do its thing.
Gotcha. I think from a feel perspective, it's good.
Good.
Just being smart with it.
That's all you can do. Yeah, that's good though.
Appreciate it.
Wednesday next week.
I swear, you would think I never feed this dog the way he just... What? What do you guys say? Really? And then what? Regardless of him, I've got chicken going in the air fryer. I've got some white rice going in the rice cooker. And then I just made myself a turkey sandwich. It's literally just the sourdough bread from Trader Joe's, turkey, lettuce, and garlic aioli. Once we got the full meal together, I'll probably give more of a in-depth thought process breakdown of how I'm feeling post PT session number 1 with the stress fracture. At least I got this guy though. He always makes me feel better, even when he tries to bite my earrings out. This probably looks a little weird because it's the opposite way in which I normally shoot. But I have my little red light board in the corner over here, so I prop my foot up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my bowl of lettuce, white rice, chicken, avocado, and sriracha mayo. I'm running low on groceries. I definitely gotta get groceries tomorrow, that's for sure. So I wanted to real quick just run through the notes that I'd written down for my PT session with Jordan. The biggest thing that he had given me the green light for is I can do all my morning prehab work, so rolling out my feet again, rolling out my calves again. I'm super excited for that. He said I'm also good to resume normal swimming again, which I'm really stoked with that. I was getting quite tired of just pulling all the time. And last but not least, he gave me the green light to start introducing some body weight workouts for my lower body again. I haven't hit legs in a little bit because of the boot, so being able to do something is more than being able to do nothing. I'm pretty happy about that. Full transparency, I think I was expecting to get the green light to bike again today, which sucks, but at the same time, I know that there is no cheating this process and that I'm intended to go through it exactly how it is planned out. So as demoralizing as it might feel in this very moment, I know I'm gonna be able to take a few deep breaths in like an hour or two and get back to the mindset at which I usually approach things, which is that everything is gonna work out in the end. But I don't know, part of me is like allowing myself to be a little bit down right now just because I am a human being. I think if I try and bypass every single emotion that I feel and just try and say like, no, I'm good, it's ultimately not gonna be that good. So just trying to be honest with myself and with you all. But yeah, plan for the rest of the day is get some work done. I got a call today. I'm trying to make my coaching better now that I got free time, so I'm working on building out an app right now. I'm gonna work on some coaching programs right now, and I'm also working on the Effects newsletter as well. I'm just typing away on my computer these days, but yeah, I mean, like, I really can't emphasize enough. Like, I know that I'm a tad bit bummed out right now, but like, please don't feel bad for me. This is just me like being authentic and sharing how I truly feel about this situation. The last thing I want is any sympathy. So we're gonna keep moving forward. Everything's gonna be all good. Just the honest journey. Hey. I can't have anything anymore. Yeah! I no longer have any free space. It's just me and Graham, that's all. I've got the man distracted for a little bit, so I'm going to try and run you guys through the recovery and PT that I'm doing for my ankle right now. His collar is so loud, I'm really sorry. My father just sent me a Facebook motivational post, so I thought I'd share it with everyone because it's pretty on brand. Here's what most people get wrong about setbacks. They think the rejection is the ending. It's not. It's the filter. It separates the people who are only in it for the outcome from the people who are in it for the work. If anyone was wondering where I get kind of my motivational spiels from, shout out Brian Hopkins, that's the man who I get all my motivational groove from. I don't know. Wrapping up week 3 of being in the boot. Obviously there is always some variance between when I'm recording versus when I'm recording this outro. It was a lot harder for me to get around to recording this outro, not because I've been down or anything. It's just like, I don't know, just, I've said it before, but sometimes it's hard to record these outros, and especially dealing with this injury, I think my whole experience with it has just been ebbs and flows. I posted about it on my Instagram story, but some days I'm fired up, I'm posting and I feel really good. Some days I really don't even want to pick up my phone because I'm like, what can I post being injured? It's frustrating. But I'm trying to be very honest in my documentation of this journey, so I do have to share the good, the bad. I do have to continue to share, so that's what I am trying to remind myself more often than not. It's almost been 2 weeks since the Austin Marathon, which is crazy that time is flying by that fast. But I did want to talk about my experience there because honestly it was the best in-person event I've ever attended. It was also the first race that I ever spectated, which was super special. The weekend as a whole was great, being with the BPN team, but just the amount of people that were so excited to see me. I remember for the shakeout run, I got there at like 6:30 a.m. As I'm walking in, I meet a guy, him and I are talking, meet 2 girls. I'm not even doing the shakeout run, but from 6:45 a.m. till 9 a.m. I stood there and I talked and I met so many great people and I had so many great conversations. And the next day, the expo, same thing. From like the minute I got there to the minute I left, there was just so much love and support, and I was able to give so much love and support without thinking about racing or like being in the back of my head like, okay, like tomorrow I have to give a really big effort. And it was very relaxing for me. It was very freeing. And I didn't even realize it, but like at the very end of the expo, they took down like the ropes to make the line around the BPN building. And all of a sudden like a circle formed around me and I was spinning around trying to talk to as many people, and then Hope comes over and she's like, you gotta go. And I was like, dang it. Like I was trying to talk to as many people as possible. And then race day itself was so much fun. I stood right at the 10K mark, which is coming back across the South First Bridge, I wanna say. And that was last year when I ran the Austin Marathon. That was where I lost my mind and I was running backwards and screaming. It was just such great energy. So to be on the other side of it this year and be cheering people on. People were mid-marathon running up, giving me a hug or taking a photo with me and then continuing the marathon. In my head, I'm like, if I'm running a marathon, the only thing I'm thinking about is finishing this thing. And it was funny because there's just people around me. Some people knew like who I was, and I mean, that's not coming from a place of ego, it's just they know me, I live in Austin. But some people had no clue who I was. So I had multiple parents come to me and they're like, who are you? And I'm like, great question. But that weekend honestly helped me out a ton, especially dealing with this injury, because it reminded me that athletic competition or not, people care about people, and it's about how you make people feel and how you talk to them and how you treat them, not just about, wow, that guy's so fast, or wow, he's got a lot of Instagram followers. It's every single interaction I had, I let it go. Like, I think about every interaction that you have, you go back to zero. And what I mean by go back to zero, it's just like human to human. There is no preconceived conception of who they are. You don't have any opinions of them. You meet them in that moment and you just talk it through. And it was just such an interesting time because I would have such an amazing conversation with a human being and I feel like I would be super connected with them, and I'm like, wait a minute, like I just met you. So I don't know, just I've always tried my best to be very in tune with the conversations I'm having, because I want every single person I'm talking to feel special, to feel important, because every single person does deserve to feel that way. And a lot of people were either running their first marathon or they'd come up to me and they just ask for advice about the weekend or advice about life. I can't emphasize enough, like I don't really know anything, I'm just kind of living my life, but all I could think about is like, how can I help these people? What can I say? What can I do for them to make this singular experience better, as well as hopefully have a lasting impact on their life? Which got me thinking about this quote from the Archbishop Desmond Tutu, which the Book of Joy, maybe one of my favorite books of all time. Top 3 for sure. I'm so excited. I'm about like 20 pages away from finishing it. Highly recommend it. But he has this quote and it says, "How can I help? Even in the midst of your deep anguish, it's got an alchemy that transforms your pain. It may not take it away, but it becomes in a way bearable, more than it was at the time when you were just saying, poor me, thinking only about yourself." I feel like I could have had 2 different approaches to the Austin Marathon weekend. I could have, been like, oh, I'm in a boot, I don't want to be on my feet that whole time, and I could have sat back and been like, yep, this just isn't my weekend, I'll wait till next year. Or I could stand out there in the boot, cheer people on, show love, show support, because no matter what, there are going to be unfortunate times, there are going to be struggles, you know, and deep anguish, but it's how you let that affect you. And instead of being like, oh, I'm so reflective of myself and my only focus is me and how I should feel bad about myself and other people should feel bad about me, turning it outward and being like, you know what, like, I want to feel good about other people. How can I help them feel good about themselves? Because I really do think that joy comes down not to how we prioritize ourselves, but how we serve others. So being in this boot and having the opportunity to serve others that weekend by being as encouraging, as optimistic, as caring, as present as possible, it really helps me to enjoy it so very much. And that brings me to this last quote that I'm really trying to continue to remind myself throughout this whole recovery journey, which is, our experience of life is a series of stories we tell ourselves. And I feel like so long as we continue to make out the story not as having a horrible ending, or not even having a set ending right now, you know, nothing in life is that permanent. Even this, you know, this injury, temporary. You complete a race, you feel really good, temporary. You got to be present, and you got to just embrace every single moment, as opposed to trying to spin the story to be so focused on something else or something that didn't even happen in that moment. One of the things that I had told an individual who had asked me about advice for their first marathon, I gave them 3 points. I said, 1, try and encourage as many people as possible, like be a positive human being to those around you. 2 is to thank every single volunteer that you pass. And then 3 is make it a day that you can look back and always be grateful for that you were present for it. And I feel like that approach can stem outside of just race day, but to every single day of our life. Encourage those around you. Be a kind human being. Be compassionate. Be overly grateful for those that help you in your life, and try and think of a way in which you can help them in return. And to just carry yourself in a manner that every single day you can look back on and be proud of the human being that you are. If I can be remembered as one thing on social media, in my friend groups, in this life, I just want to be remembered as someone who is extremely compassionate and just had so much love and so much care for those around them. Because truthfully speaking, we can't survive alone. We need to have community. We need to have support. And speaking of community support, I wanted to go ahead and lead into the shout out for this video, which is my boy Kalai Bouillon. Had the pleasure of meeting him the last time he was here in Austin. He's getting ready to rip for the Wilmington Marathon. By the time this video goes up, he might have already ran it, but just an extremely hardworking individual who has a great head on his shoulders and a really big heart. Like, right after I posted about my ankle, he texted me right away and he's like, dude, I'm so sorry to hear. So I've got nothing but love and respect for him. He's been crushing it as well. So it's cool to see someone similar in my age like really put themselves out there and really ride with this whole social media thing, because it can be extremely daunting. And there are individuals out there who want to spread negativity and who want to build a platform based off of hate. But like, I can't emphasize enough, like, we need more good in the world. And if you can do good in the world, because you can do good in this world, you should. So yeah, Kalai, hope you crush the marathon. I mean, like I said, you probably already ran it at the time that this video is going up. My bad about that, but I just texted you good luck anyway, so do your thing, man, and keep crushing it. And now to lead into, I guess, the closing remarks, which is the sales pitch of my YouTube video. So if you want to check out here, all good. If you want to hear me yap about the same stuff that I always do, here we are. Code HOP for BPN. They are just about to release their whey protein isolate, which I tried this morning. It goes down significantly easier and sits a lot better than the whey protein because they've removed nearly all of the lactose content in it. So for someone like me who struggles to eat dairy and has been having to use the vegan protein powder, I'm so stoked to have the whey protein isolate. Code HOP10 for Gymshark, which has been all the shorts that I've been wearing. Their Run 4-inch 2-in-1 shorts and their Run 5-inch shorts have been my 2 favorites, as well as they're about to release like another run specific drop, which I was actually in the photo shoot for it, so keep an eye out for that. Code HOP once again for Dream Recovery, which is the nose strips that I always wear. I also have been rocking their blue light glasses at night, which I personally feel like they make a difference, whether it's placebo effect or not. I enjoy wearing them. They're also pretty stylish, so if you want to check out them or the nose strips, like I said, sleep with them, swim with them. When I get back to biking and running, those will also be on my nose. If you would like to try a 1 month free membership, I just hit myself in the face with my phone. If you'd like to try a 1 month free membership of the Whoop, it is down below in my description. Been trying to track my sleep a lot better, trying to just track my recovery as much as possible so that I can facilitate the transition back into full training when I do get out of the boot. Inner Flame is my coaching site, as well as any training plans. So if you're interested in any of those, it is all linked down below in the description. And last but not least, The Effect. We're still waiting on the next round of samples for the hats that we want, because we want like a very specific texture and quality to them, as well as working on designs for the shirts. We have an idea for what the campaign video is going to be, and I'm so stoked about it because Pranav and I were voicing it back and forth, and we kind of just clicked with it. So when that does drop, when we do get shooting for it, I'd like to shoot some behind the scenes stuff if possible as well. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys supporting me. I've had like a number of people be like, dude, I've been watching you since your USC days, which is crazy to think that was almost 2 years ago now. I know that this injury isn't a setback, but rather setting me in place for something bigger, and I just have to continue to trust God and His plan for everything. So yeah, thank you guys so much for the continuous support. I promise I'm going to learn from this. I promise I'm going to try my best to do better in the future. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And like I said in the video, the idea of just asking people, how can I help you? If I can help any of you all out in any specific way, please feel free to let me know, whether it be DM or email. I'll try my best to get back to you. Sometimes it's kind of just like a lot, but like I really do appreciate this life and what I get to call my life, and I want to always outwardly demonstrate that. So if I can support any of you in any way, I'm here for it. But yeah, thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.